Tonight on That's Dark.
Picture an ordinary neighborhood where seemingly benign man harbored unspeakable horrors within the unassuming home. From 1984 to 1987, Berdella lured young men into a nightmare of unimaginable torture and death, meticulously documenting every gruesome detail. How did this predator hide in plain sight? What sinister secrets lay behind his closed doors? Join us as we descend into the depths of one of America's most horrifying true crime stories, where the line between neighbor and nightmare is terrifyingly thin.
Ooh, hello everybody.
Hey, hey.
This sounds very interesting, to say the
It
least.
fucked me up.
Yeah.
I mean, worse than even... This one gave me some really fucked up dreams.
Really?
It did. Like,
I can't believe I've never heard of it.
I didn't hear of it until I went to, guess where?
Where?
Zach Bacon's.
Of course.
He had a whole room dedicated to that. I wasn't even in his... I didn't even get there. Liz told me about it, so I wasn't even in his room.
Oh my god. So you didn't get to see it, like this was
out of the serial killer area. This was upstairs, and it was in a different room. A room that was literally made, I guess, from what I understand. Here's what's absolutely horrifying. The mattress is the mattress that he killed.
Stop it.
Yeah. In that place.
Wait,
yeah.
Is this one that has like stains on it?
Yep.
I've heard of that.
Fecal stains.
Oh!
Because of what these men went through.
Oh, God. Whew.
And when I, again, so you know how we talk about, nurture... here's another one that, to me, is just evil.
Yeah.
He's just evil. But yeah, so he has... I guess in this room, which Liz didn't let Jake go in.
Yeah.
Which she's like, I'm so glad, because, she just had a feeling. She didn't know anything about the Kansas City Butcher either, right? And, sorry, guys. I've had a bit of a day and a cold, I guess, maybe. I don't know, something. We'll just call it cold.
It's the cold weather here, so we got sniffles. And...
Anyways, yeah, so I guess they, I just said documented. Mm-hmm. He documented everything. Pictures, journals. You'll find out why.
Oh,
everything
God.
meticulously documented.
What the fuck? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, dude. It's not. It's like... Some of these ones that I have to dive into, it's like when you really start, because I was diving in because I was trying to find something. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't trying to redeem him,
right?
But I was like, where can I find the turning point?
Yes,
I don't see it.
It's like Bundy.
It's just like Bundy. It's just like I don't see a turning point.
Wonderful.
And so, for me, I think this literally is just a man that is a monster.
He's just a man. Okay.
He's just a man.
I'm kidding.
He's just a man.
He's just a man.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, so just so everyone knows, I think our chit chat should be, we've had some things going on. We're going to try to really record a couple of them in a row sometime coming up. But
next week I'm going to be out because it's
birthday.
my birthday. Tomorrow's your birthday.
Yes.
Then we have Christmas the following week.
Yeah.
Then New Year's the week after. So it's a busy. This is always, this time of year is always hectic for us.
Yeah. So it might be a little sporadic and stuff like that.
We're going to try to do some batch filming.
Yeah.
Gotta figure it out.
I think that needs to happen. I think we need to do a day of, not a day, but a good solid evening of just filming, so that way it gets out there. But we have other things coming. I was thinking about, how I did Krampus? Mm-hmm. I'm obviously not my next, you got the next one. But I was thinking about doing, I've heard some interesting things about the history of Santa. We all know about Saint Nick, right?
Yeah.
But I just heard some really interesting facts from Jared that I have to look up.
That could be interesting.
So I think I might actually do the history and all of the things, of different countries instead of Krampus. I was going to do
cool.
Saint Nick.
I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm trying to think.
I need to lighten it up a little bit after what I've been ingesting.
Yes. Yes. I know. I love how the videos.
We didn't do this as Heather.
Are you sure?
We did.
You guys should know by now. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Heather.
And we are 4 minutes and 40 seconds in. Sorry. It's just been
I'm all over the place, everybody.
It's, yes, Hershey Bells.
She got me Hershey Bells. Mm-hmm. And Alyssa made me the cutest. She knows my love of bees, and she knows it's my spirit animal, and she made me homemade, and they're literally I'm going to wear them all the time. Little clips that go in your hair, and I'm obsessed. And
I made them, and then I'm
obsessed.
like, are these too big? I don't know. I think because I put them up to my head, and I think they should look okay, but I was like, oh no, I hope I didn't make them too big. But yeah, and then you got me the cutest ever sweaters from Box Lunch that has Baymax, my favorite, of course.
Love that sweater.
And Wolverine. But it's like cutesy. It doesn't look like Wolverine. It's like, if you know, you know.
It looks like cross and stitch.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
It's like pretty colors. And I love it. It's perfect. And the Baymax one literally feels like a marshmallow, so love that.
Yes.
But yeah, for Chit Chat, I mean, honestly, I don't know.
I don't really have anything.
So much has been going on, but so much has not been
much.
going on at the same time. You know.
Oh, I have my party Friday. I'm excited for that. Because of my
Friday
life
the 13th.
right now. Yeah. How cool is that, though?
I know.
Because of my life right now, I'm going to get really drunk. Just putting that out there.
Yes.
I'm going to be frat party drunk. Putting it out there. Hopefully I'll be in a good mindset.
Don't fall on your face again. We're not going to do that.
And it's Wicked theme. And have you seen Wicked?
Not yet.
Oh
no,
God,
I know. I know.
I've seen it 3 times.
Oh my God. That's like me with Wolverine.
I'm obsessed. Obsessed. But I'm recreating her outfit from Popular.
Ooh.
And I'll have to show you because then you'll understand.
Yeah.
Because if I just say it, because you haven't seen it yet. So
I've heard the song everywhere.
I know. You
all
heard
over
the
TikTok.
song, but you have to see what she's wearing. Because I am going to recreate a version of this. It's a dressing
oh my God,
robe.
It's
and
so pretty.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yes.
I just got these, like, the tiny, what's that called? What's that? Fishnet with the tiny ones. And they have little rhinestones. Yes. And
so
then, you have no idea. I'm going to just take a moment because I have to show you. I'm obsessed. I'll show you. No one else gets to know till it comes. Wait till you see what I'm going to be wearing outside. Like, obviously not like this lady. I don't understand why they make their models do this, but I have this coming.
Oh my God, that's so pretty.
I know.
Oh my God.
I've always wanted a boa robe. Like, for the fact that I had a reason, I was like, yup.
It's so cunty.
It's
and
so
like
cunty.
the perfect
And that's
way.
exactly what she is.
Yes,
She's so
cunty.
like... Oh, you don't even know. I'm going to keep saying that repeatedly. You don't even know.
You don't even know.
you have no idea what I have
doesn't
coming.
even go here.
I have to show you my shoes.
Ooh. Oh my God, they're so perfect.
And then I have a pink, like, it's
dude,
like a
I used to
pink
have
nightgown,
those as like a
but
kid.
I know.
Those are like the best.
I know.
Little play shoes.
The fact that she had the whole, I was like,
Me.
and I have a crown.
Yes.
And I have a wand.
Yes. Perfect.
So,
As you
anyways,
should.
I'm excited for that. I'm
Yes.
going to keep that in my mindset, but I will be really drunk. I'm not going to, I'm going to be drunk. I'm going to be drunk. Drunk. And I have games I want to play. There's a Korean.
Ooh.
Sorry, Korean? Yeah, drinking game.
Oh.
It's called Apatao.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah. Apatao or apatit or whatever, and you have to go, and then when you stop, whoever picks the number, and then you have to keep going up, and whoever hits that number, they get hit and they have to drink. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm
so
excited.
excited
It's
for
going to be
that.
so
Yes,
fun.
I'm so excited for that. So.
Yay, I love
Anyways,
it. I have one little chit chat as I'm sure everybody in America has seen. What are your thoughts on the CEO? I think we're going to have the same opinions, but let's hear it.
Bye. Like, I think that, first of all, I'm gonna come. You know, I'm not like you typically with my conspiracy theories. I don't think this is. They didn't catch him.
They
That's
did.
not the no.
Oh,
I'm
you don't
sorry,
think it's
that's
him?
not him.
Did you hear his manifesto he wrote?
Yeah,
his 3-page manifesto. All the things like, and then there's like speculation that he had a YouTube channel. And literally it got like uploaded the day he got arrested, and it was like labeled like, if you're seeing this, I've been arrested. I think that's someone who made the video. Like, I don't think it's him.
Here's what I think. Sorry, go
You
ahead.
think he's like the default, the decoy?
I do.
Guy. I do too.
I think because they can't catch him.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to make it seem like case closed.
You want to hear why? I just want you to think about when he's sitting and he's like laughing in the picture in his thing.
Yeah.
And then look and he quote unquote like went in. I mean, because I'm sorry, if that is him, he wanted to be caught.
Yeah.
that is not the face of someone who wanted to be caught.
Right.
If that was him, I feel like he would have that same smile. Like, you're telling me this man who literally shot the CEO, got away, and he just got found in Pennsylvania in McDonald's with the weapon on him?
Yeah.
Come on,
I
dude.
know.
Come on.
And all his fake IDs and everything.
Come on.
Yeah. I think if it is him, I think that's where I'm leaning towards too. But I have to talk about, like, this is when it first happened. The fucking cops interview, like, they were low-key fanboying over him.
They were.
Like, this guy's a pro.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's doing.
When he etched in the bullets?
Dude, deny, defend...
Decipher?
No,
what was it? Deny, defend, dispose.
Depose. Yep.
Deny, defend, depose. Gives me chills.
Dude, I'm saying, like, I don't think violence is the answer. But
Sometimes
you have to make your point across. And clearly they're not listening to us.
Here's what I think, though. I think that people are now, I think higher-ups are being... first of all, I think that McDonald's came out and they're like, we're bringing the snack back.
I hope that's out. Is that out yet?
It is really coming out. It is.
Is it out now?
Yeah. It's on mine, I think. I swear to God.
I'm getting one tonight.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, fucking about time. Sorry, it took a CEO to die to get us a snack wrap. But
or how about the Blue Cross Blue Shield shit?
I know, she came on.
She's like, just kidding.
She looked like she was literally being held hostage. She was like, I just want to, we're going to cover all anesthesia. It was just like, but that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they're like, holy shit, we don't catch this guy, they're going to know, that they have a voice and they have a choice.
Yep. Dude, his manifesto, it gave me chills. The part where he talked about they teach us violence is not the answer, but they want us to not be violent so they can continue being fat with blood that they spill of us. Right. I was like, ooh.
Dude, his manifesto did not read crazy. It read fed up and like smart and intelligent. I got chills. With the bullets, I got chills. Yep. I was like, oh.
I think it's crazy that even, like, to see it on the news, like, talking about the public's reaction, even news anchors were, like, obviously they're saying, like, it's not right, but everybody can understand why. Every single person, one of the news anchors himself was like, I have a dad with leukemia, and his shit gets denied all the time.
Thoughts and
copays. Thoughts and deductibles.
Yeah, I don't have it in my, what they say when they're like, I haven't got that pre-existing. Yeah, I don't have that in my pre-existing to care or whatever. Yes. Like, I'm sorry. He was a really crappy dude. He was awful. He lined his pockets.
Girl.
From the death of other people.
Girl.
He lined his pockets by killing other people.
Wait till you hear this. Because because you know how I'm working on my YouTube videos too. Mm-hmm. I just filmed one and it is about that. It's called Is Violence the Answer? Girl. The shit, like, I could have made a 5-hour-long video on just the complaints with United Healthcare in general.
Oh, yeah.
Then I got to Mr. Thompson. They were under an investigation.
Yep.
For, so there's, like, a lot of speculation. One of the biggest complaints is they're being accused of having an AI bot that essentially denies all claims.
Yeah.
But that's not what this one was about. So anyway, he decided they were under investigation for another thing. And before he told his investors, he sold 31% of his stocks. For 31% of his shares before he told investors. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Fuck him. Well, I mean, he's already fucked. So. But I think the CEOs need to take note. I think they need to take note and quit lining their fucking pockets from literally the death of other people.
Girl.
I could go on. Okay.
So my thing
like this forever. And by the way, they're switching my health insurance to fucking United Healthcare.
Stop it. I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, I'm pissed from Blue Cross Blue Shield, which has been awesome having.
Yeah.
They are literally, and my work is like, oh, but it's comparable. It's good. I'm just like, no, you just screwed me. You fuckers.
Did they just do that? Or, like, is this before this happened?
Oh, it was before this happened, but they're still probably...
I wonder if they're like, ooh.
I wish they would take it back, because not that I'm saying Blue Cross is amazing, but it's a lot better having than that fucking shit.
Well, my thing is, if violence is not the answer, why are we allowed to continue sending people over in wars to have them continue to be slaughtered while the people who are making the decisions just sit back? And also, why are corporations like United Health Group and other insurance companies allowed to basically, they're the ones that are at fault for hundreds of thousands of people's suffering and death every single year, but that's just business.
Yeah, that's just business.
That's just business.
That's just business.
No hard feelings.
Nothing personal.
Yeah, it's just business.
Nothing personal.
Fuck that shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing
Fuck
personal.
that.
Like when everyone was like, a few people, not everyone, because most people are like, with the CEO, they're like, thoughts and co-pays.
Yeah.
But like some people are like, how can you do that? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to his family. It's just business.
Yeah.
He was the issue. We took him, that guy took him out.
Mm-hmm. I truly believe the only people who do not feel like, the only people that are like, how could you think that way, have not been affected.
No.
Or don't know anybody that's been affected.
No.
Or, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that, you know, I don't know, maybe a little part of me is saying that, yes, violence is necessary. But I don't think it's hard. It's hard. I don't think it should have to be the answer. But I think, unfortunately, to get through, and I mean, they are way outnumbered.
I'm just thinking,
the more people suffer with money, it's gonna get worse.
At some point,
yeah,
there has to be a united front and a revolution to basically. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get taken away.
Don't. No, I love it.
Yeah.
Did you see? You know how
there
Pluto
has to be. Where we come up and we say no more. Fuck you. Like no more.
Yes.
Period.
But did you see that Pluto transition to Aquarius? Apparently the last time it was in transit was the American Revolution. There's like a list of other things.
And guess what's going on in France right now? A revolution.
In South Korea.
Yeah. Well, South Korea. Yeah, South Korea said no. When that guy was like, I'm going to make this communist, they were like, shut down.
They're like, absolutely no.
They're like, fuck you.
Something else somewhere too. And wasn't another CEO shot like the same week?
I don't remember.
There was, but I can't remember who it was. But yeah, dude. So who would have thought that this is what would unite us again? Once it's like the left and right are like, we just were like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
We know who the real fucking, why did my brain just go?
The real threat.
Yes.
That's the real threat. That's the real enemy.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
All
Period.
Right. Okay. Speaking of monsters and threats.
Sorry for the almost 18-minute intro.
Sorry.
I had to.
I'm on a kind of mindset today that I could have ranted for.
Yep.
We are going to talk about someone that I didn't even know about. Like we said before. Mm-hmm. I learned about him at Zach Bagans' museum. Mm-hmm. And he is the Kansas City Butcher. His name is Robert Berdella. So Robert Berdella's early life, he's gross, was marked by isolation and challenges. Now, born in 1949 in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, he was a loner. Here's what's ridiculous, okay? He was a loner due to severe nearsightedness, high blood pressure, and a speech impediment, making him a target for bullies.
What is high blood pressure?
I was literally like...
that's like most of America.
But I'm going to tell you, I looked up trying to find out incidences, like school, anything, could find nothing. To say, and I'm like, is this coming from his mouth? Mm. That's all I had, is this coming from his mouth? Because... Like, really? Is he like a little baby child? And he's like, I was bullied because I have heart problems. I'm like, who does that? Who's like, ha, 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 heart problems.
You have high blood pressure. Weirdo.
His father, who valued athleticism, often compared him unfavorably to his younger brother and physically abused him. Didn't find anything about physically abusing him. This, again, I think is coming straight from him. I do. I feel like everything I read, it just read from him. So Berdella excelled academically, but was socially isolated. So here's a guy, again, with a pretty high IQ. Happens again. Mm-hmm. So after his father's death in 1965, he became cynical about religion. I don't even know they were religious. Like, literally, things about this man is so sporadic. I'm like, oh, they're religious. Okay, great. So, but he became cynical. Like, he really started getting into a cult.
Oh.
really into occult studies. He loved history of the cult.
Oh, occult.
Occult.
Okay, I thought you meant a cult.
Sorry, occult. You know my mouth.
I get it now.
So,
it's like,
he really got into it, like
Okay.
reading about it, investing his time. He loved collecting things on it. He loved antiques. He loved history.
Okay.
And he was super into that, right? He was also, they were pretty sure he was gay. Mm-hmm. Although at that time, it wasn't something that you would come out at the time that he was before he committed his crimes.
Right.
It wasn't like
so this would have been around 70s, right? That he started committing crimes?
1965.
Okay.
No, he didn't do his first crime until the 80s.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
Oh.
So,
okay. Wait, wait, I think I figured it out. He ended up getting possessed by one of his antiques that he collected. I'm kidding.
He probably did. No, he sounded like, I don't know, if you look at picture of him, he just seemed like a weirdo.
Okay.
I don't know. He just seemed kind of weird. And you're going to hear, okay? So, I'm going to have to do a trigger warning, and you're going to get real angry.
Oh.
There is not only abuse.
Oh, God, don't tell me animals.
There is animal abuse. And it pissed me off. And that's what also, like, anything that like, once I read that, I was like, I will never think, there's nothing you could ever say about him, you know? So, he turned to art. So he really got into art. He got into history, the occult. Like, he got into all of that, right? And he says, as a coping mechanism.
So like Hitler.
Yeah.
I guess Hitler was into it before, though. But
in college, he started experimenting with drugs. And he started engaging in animal cruelty.
Oh.
So then he was expelled from Kansas City Art Institute in 1969 due to his disturbing behavior involving a dog. Please, trigger warning, but I have to read this because I want you guys to clearly understand what a fucking monster this man was. During his time at the Institute, he injected sedatives into a dog to observe its reactions, ultimately leading to the dog's death. The incident, and he did this with other animals too. Ugh. This dog died, and he had, I think it was a roommate or someone that was like, this is happening, this has got to stop. The incident was the final straw for the school board, and it resulted in his expulsion in the middle of his junior year. He was initially ashamed, as he should have been, and he should have been killed. Berdella's feelings turned to anger, and he blamed the school for not understanding his art.
What?
Yes. The expulsion marked a turning point, contributing to his later criminal behavior. So he was real pissed. He was walking around all angry, saying they didn't understand his art. That he was doing this animal cruelty because of his art.
What?
That he was injecting them and experimenting with the results for art. And he got real angry that they did not understand his art.
I would like to make some art with his blood.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Me too.
After that.
I was like, fuck you. So as you might well, you probably will believe this. He couldn't hold a job.
No. Soccer.
He couldn't. So he decided to open his own.
No.
Yeah. He was like, you know what? No one wants me around them because I'm a fucker.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have my own job. So, he created Bob's Bizarre Bazaar.
What? Wait. His name's Robert, so Bob.
It was a booth.
Oh.
Okay. It was called Bob's Bizarre Bazaar.
Okay.
Sold a variety of macabre and unusual items. Notably, offerings included human skulls, shrunken heads, occult books, animal bones, and various antiques. Now, I'm going to let you guys know, because this is the time that I'm mentioning his little Bob's Bazaar. During his arrest, he had on display 4 human skulls in his booth, and they were marked the final 4.
Did anybody question this? Or were they just
you'll hear about his trial. What's ridiculous? Yeah, you'll hear. It's not crazy, but it's like pretty damn straightforward, and it's stupid. Also, as a supplemental income, because Bob's Bazaar didn't make the income that he needed.
What?
Yeah, crazy, right?
Oh my God! He
didn't make it off of Bob's Bazaar.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't make
It's just like a genius idea. I don't understand.
The thing was, he didn't even make art with it. He just sold skulls and shit. Bob's Bazaar. So as supplemental income, he ran an unofficial boarding house where he would let young gay men stay at his house and rent a room. Robert had barely any relationships, did not have any known girlfriends because before his mid-20s, he was straight.
Wait.
What?
Did he advertise this room for rent specifically to gay men?
Yes. Yes,
and
he did. In the gay district.
Okay. Yeah. Looking for gay man roommate.
He did become openly gay by his mid-20s and primarily associated with male prostitutes, drug addicts, and petty criminals. He had a significant relationship finally. Now we're going all the way to 1982. He's from 1969 after he got expelled. He was all pissy about the fact they didn't understand his stupid fucking art, which wasn't art. He was just psycho. He got Bob's Bazaars. And then he's like not making it. So he's now he got into a significant relationship in 1982 with a man who was reportedly emotionally and psychologically unstable due to his experiences in the Vietnam War. This relationship ended badly and Robert was very upset. He ranted about his relationship to anyone who would listen. And he was still frequenting. Thank you. Frequenting. What's wrong with this? Bars to get his male prostitutes. Like, he was sleeping around. He wasn't. Yeah. The thing about Bob is he wasn't, like, holding it in.
Okay.
You know, that's also why I'm like, oh, just evil. Got it. Yeah. Because he wasn't suppressing his gay. Yeah. He wasn't doing any of that. He just thought the world was against him in the way he thought.
So he's got victim mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank God a Vietnam guy got away because he didn't ever get hurt. He was very upset. He was pissed. His first murder happens only 2 years after his bad relationship. So Bob decided, I'm going to call him Bob because I just feel like he needs to be Bob.
Okay.
He decided that he wanted to, he got this idea together. And I'm going to tell you about the idea in a little bit here.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about his first murder, okay? July 5th, 1984. So 1982, he had his relationship. Mm-hmm. That's ended. Now it's 1984. When he murders 19-year-old Jerry Howell. 19.
And how old is he at this time? He's probably in his 40s, right?
49 is when he was born. This is now 1984. So
probably 30s, mid-30s, somewhere in there.
Do the math.
I can't math today, guys, so feel free.
So this guy is, he's 19. Mm-hmm. Berdella had promised Hal a ride to a dance contest, but instead plied him with alcohol and sedatives. After taking Hal to his home, Berdella restrained him to a bed for 28 hours, during which he repeatedly drugged, tortured, and sexually assaulted him. Hal eventually died from asphyxiation due to the combination of drugs and a gag. Berdella then dismembered Hal's body and disposed of it in trash bags. Although they don't believe, they do believe, like I said of Bob's, that eventually he started collecting some of his victims. Mm-hmm. So then Bob's just living his life going on. So then the next victim, Robert Sheldon, a 23-year-old former lodger. So remember, he had his little lodging business going on, who arrived at Berdella's home on April 10th, 1985, seeking temporary shelter. Although Berdella was not physically attracted to Sheldon, according to him. He didn't find him attractive. He saw an opportunity to express his frustrations and anger because he was an artiste. And he needed to express himself. On April 12th, Berdella drugged and restrained Sheldon, holding him captive for 3 days. During this time, trigger warning, I'm just going to say trigger all over the place. Sheldon was subjected to various forms of torture, including having drain cleaner swabbed in his eyes, needles inserted underneath his fingernails, and his wrists bound with piano wire to cause nerve damage.
What?
When workmen were scheduled to visit Berdella's home, he suffocated Sheldon by placing a bag over his head and tightened it with a rope. Sheldon was then dissected in the third floor bathroom, and his remains were disposed of. This one he did not sexually assault because he did not find him attractive.
Oh my God.
But he did do those horrifying things. Now, he was also, as I said before, snapping pictures and meticulously writing down every aspect of the torture in journals. Then we have his third victim, Mark Wallace. Wallace was killed on June 23rd, 1985, after being subjected to severe torture. Berdella used alligator clips to administer electrical shocks to Wallace's body.
What the fuck is an alligator clip?
It's those, like, really painful.
Yes.
They're painful on top of being you getting electrocuted.
Yep. Oh, God.
And experimented with hypodermic needles inserted into his muscles. Wallace died from a combination of drugs, gagging, and lack of oxygen. Berdella meticulously documented the crimes, keeping logs, as I said before, photographs of the torture sessions, and yes, you guys can find that. I had to see some of it because I was looking up a lot of stuff, and it gave me dreams that I don't ever want to talk about.
Oh, God.
So then we're going to talk about his fourth victim. Now, here's what's crazy. If you notice how quickly these are happening. If they're all happening pretty quickly. I think it was like, let me go back here really fast. We're looking at 84, 85, 85, 85. Like
that's a lot.
Yeah. Then we have, Todd Stoops, who is his fourth victim. Mm-hmm. He's 85 as well. Was subjected to extreme and prolonged torture over several weeks. So he had him for several weeks. Berdella attempted to make Stoops a compliant sex slave by using electrical shocks to his eyes and injecting drain cleaner into his larynx to silence him. Stoops endured repeated sexual assaults and eventually died from blood loss after his anal cavity was ruptured.
Oh, God.
Berdella's methods were meticulous. And that's what I'm going to, we're going to get there. So he just keeps writing this down, right? And writing this down. And writing it down. And taking pictures of everything.
Oh, my God. Does Zach Bagans have these writings?
Pictures and writings, yes.
Oh, my God. Holy shit.
The pictures are all over the wall of that room.
Yeah.
The mattress of this is the mattress that every one of these men have died in.
Oh.
And then we have his fifth victim, Larry Pearson, endured 6 weeks of severe torture, including electrical shocks and injections of drain cleaner into his larynx. Berdella also broke Pearson's hand with a metal bar. Despite Pearson's attempts to cooperate to avoid further pain, he eventually bit down on Berdella's penis when he was being forced to have oral sex, which led Berdella to beat and strangle him to death. And then he got rid of that body as well. So alcohol and drugs obviously played a significant role in Robert's torture methods. He used them to incapacitate his victims, making it easier to control and torture them, because he obviously wasn't a strong guy.
Right.
Because he's torturing men. Berdella often plied his victims with alcohol and sedatives such as diazepam and acepromazine to render them unconscious or highly sedated. This allowed him to bind and restrain them without resistance. Once incapacitated, Berdella subjected his victims to, again, various forms. We talked about physical and sexual torture, exploiting their vulnerability due to the effects of drugs. Berdella's behavior modification techniques were aimed at creating compliant sex slaves.
Sounds like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Through extreme and sadistic methods. He subjected his victims to electrical shocks, targeted sensitive areas, and injected caustic substances like drain cleaner into their bodies. Berdella also employed psychological torture, including asphyxiation, which brought them back, choke them like the game show killer. Near drowning, he would almost kill them that way and then bring them back. Gouging of eyes with needles. These methods were part of his systematic approach to break the will of his captives, prolong their suffering, for days. So he
Oh my God.
documented this because he wanted sex slaves. And he just killed them. Well, that's what he said. They just happened to die because it got too much. But
so
he was
trying to find the perfect formula of like, what can I use to keep them alive and keep them compliant?
And then get them to a point where they are just this mindless sex slave that will let him do whatever he wants to them. That's what his goal was.
Dude, that's literally what Dahmer was trying to do.
Yeah. But that's what his goal was. He took pictures. He wrote down every little thing that he did of each victim. How did it affect them? Did it get him to where he needed them to be? Like, it's all written down. Because he wanted to create sex slaves that would let him do whatever he wanted to them. So how did Robert keep his true nature hidden from his neighbors So he basically did that through a combination of outward normalcy and manipulation. He presented himself as a helpful figure to troubled young men, offering them assistance and a place to stay, which allowed him to maintain a facade of benevolence. So during this time, he didn't do it he had men coming in and out and was super helpful. And, Bob's going to let you stay at his place. He'll let you rent a place if you can't get a place somewhere else. And then he would have, I think it was only one that was actually a lodger there. The others were prostitutes, things like that, that he would then was up on the third floor. That was his space of his home. And he would torture them up there. But he would shoot larynx so they couldn't make any sounds.
Oh my God.
So let's talk about his last victim. Christopher Bryson, a 22-year-old male prostitute. And this was going to be his last known victim. In March 1988, Berdella abducted. Now, this is quite a couple years after that one, because I think that other one was in 1986, his fifth victim.
Okay.
He abducted him when he was soliciting for sex. So this is a prostitute. Once at Berdella's home, Bryson was knocked unconscious with a metal bar and subjected to the same horrific torture as previous victims, including being restrained, beaten, raped, and drugged. Bryson managed to gain Berdella's trust and convinced him to tie his hands in the front of him instead of the bed. Seizing an opportunity when Berdella left matches behind, he got them to strike, burned through his restraints, and escaped by jumping from a second-story window.
Oh my God.
He jumped from a second-story window. His escape led to Berdella's arrest and the discovery of the evidence, and that is his books and pictures. So Robert Berdella was arrested on April 2nd, 1988, after we talked about Christopher escaped from his home. Bryson was found naked, wearing only a dog collar, and reported being held captive and tortured. This led police to his home, where he then discovered evidence of his crimes, including everything. His instruments, his Polaroid photos, so many Polaroid photos. Detailed logs documenting all of his abuse, which we understand that was his creation of sex slaves. Yep. Berdella was then charged with multiple counts of murder. And he pled guilty. He pled guilty to 1 count of first-degree murder and 4 counts of second-degree murder, receiving life sentences without possible of parole. That's great.
Yeah.
He pled guilty. But then his confessions, he gave detailed confessions, which played a crucial role in his conviction. So his trial didn't go on because he was like, yeah, I did that. Here, let me tell you all about what I did.
Oh my God.
And he gave them detailed confessions of everything that he did. And then the sucky thing is he was just in prison, and then he died in 1992 from a heart attack. So that's all he got.
Wow.
That's it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I felt really unsatisfied with this because it was like he just was like, yeah, I did that. He got to document his crimes in front of people. He got to sit there and do what every serial killer loves to do, recall his crimes, and then then
just died.
And then he got life in prison, and then he just died by a heart attack. By a fucking heart attack.
Dude, that's like the toy box.
Yeah. Yeah. But he didn't go with any, everything was documented. So, like, they said that he was just so compliant. He was so compliant. He was like, yeah, I did that.
It's like, yep.
Yep, that was me. Yep, those are my journals. Yep, that's my pictures. I did everything. Here's what I did. And he literally sat down. They have it recorded of him giving his full confession of every person that he murdered.
So does he, clearly he doesn't care, but, like, he just is not remorseful at all.
No.
It's just...
No, just yeah, I did that.
Yeah, okay, I was interested because I was looking up, because there's so much similarity between him and Dahmer, and I was like, I wonder who did things
Were
first.
they killing at around the same time?
Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so Dahmer started in 1978, so Dahmer started first, so it makes me wonder if he was like, oh... But he continued on to 1991, so he wouldn't have known about his murders, because I'm assuming if he continued murdering and through to 1991, he wasn't caught until then. So, interesting to me that they're both very, very similar.
Very similar. I was thinking that too as I was reading it. I was like...
So, like, I wonder if he just... I'm sure they heard of, like, people missing, but they wouldn't have known what Dahmer was doing or his motive or, like, making a sex slave.
Because exactly. But then at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, was there a website? I'm like, wait, there was no internet. Like, there's nothing out there.
That's what I was trying to figure out, too. Like, how was he getting, like, the diazepam and, like, stuff like that? Like,
and yeah, because he literally just... he didn't have anything with doctors. He just had Bob's Bazaar. And he had his... all I can think is... Because diazepam is a anti-anxiety drug.
Right.
So I'm wondering if maybe lodgers came through.
Probably.
And he was able to obtain some of those things,
Yeah.
That's all I could think. Because I'm telling you, like... Because he gave such a detailed confession, it was just like, case open, case closed, put him away. It was such a short trial.
Dude, that's weird.
They had evidence because they had the documented.
Yeah.
It was just, there was not all this stuff to go. And, but the fact what's crazy to me is that his evidence, his mattress, all this sat, and then Zach bought it from the police.
Whew. I've heard that room in particular, I mean, like, a lot of rooms in his museum have weird feelings, but I've heard that one in particular has really, because I've heard of, like, the mattress with the stains and shit. I've heard, like, people say, like, no, this is not good vibes.
No.
I mean, obviously, there's not many good vibes in the museum.
Why wouldn't he attach himself to that? Think about it. If he's so, like, he could have been like, that wasn't... He could have done anything, but he was just like, yeah, it was me.
Did it.
And then gave his confession, which, again, you guys can look it up. You can listen to his confessions. I didn't want to because I listened to enough podcasts and everything and saw enough pictures, and my dreams were really fucked. That's all I'm going to tell you. I had really fucked up dreams that I can't forget. But, like, he just gave... To me, everything in my body said he just wanted to recount what he did. And then it was 1988, he got put away. By 1992, he dies of a heart attack. Boom.
Oh my God. I was...
And they said he was fine in prison. Ugh.
God,
so that's, again, to me, he's just a pure evil. Like, it's just pure evil.
Yeah, he's
especially
definitely...
when you can have a facade. Like, you're up there doing horrific... I was telling Liz, I was like, it's hard. Like, murder's hard for me. Like, when I'm reading cases, like, reading Jack the Ripper, like... I think because he was so quick, it doesn't affect me as much. Like, his last murder was, like, pretty, like, I was like, okay, that was... How much of that was she alive?
Yeah.
Like, but the fact that he kept some of these guys alive for weeks, 6 weeks, experimenting on them. The fact that there's a mattress with their fecal stains, which tells you these men were and one guy bleeds out because he ruptured him anally. Like, it just ripped me apart. It ripped me apart.
Holy shit.
Like, my heart. Like, I was just like, oh my God.
Isn't it just, like, weird? Not weird. Weird is not the right word. I can't even think of it. Just insane to you how we share the planet with people who do this kind of stuff. Or think this way. Think of how many people think this way and don't do things.
Well, me and Liz were reading about, I think I said that before, about, like, why is there less of serial killers? And it said a couple different things. It said that because of where our mental health, like, how we have a lot more understanding of mental health, that it's possible that that's why there's less, but they said the majority is because of us having we're aware.
Yeah.
And so serial killers, they have a less easier time getting people and luring people and all that kind of stuff. Which also fucked me up, because it means that if that's the case, they're just out there.
They're out there.
With this thought process.
Well, yeah, because that stuff doesn't go away.
No.
It doesn't.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, so I from the 70s to like the 80s, we had all these killers, and then poof.
Yeah, no.
We don't.
No, it's we can catch them now, one.
Yes.
And two, people are spreading more awareness of, hey, maybe don't get in the car with a stranger.
Yes.
Hey, maybe don't stay at a random man's house.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of times you'll see it more on prostitutes, because they are, and sadly, because we're stupid as a society and we're not giving them safety, to do their work. We're like, oh, you're going to go to jail. They are less safe,
So fucked up.
It's fucked up.
What do they do? Because in Vegas, it's allowed, right? Prostitution?
No.
No?
It's not allowed. It's allowed in certain areas.
Do they have safety there in those areas?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They have, they have actual houses. Oh. These women work out of houses. So the bunny ranch and things like that. And I think that's fabulous. They protect them. They get, they have to give a cut to the house, but they get the rest of their money.
Hey, dude, I would gladly give a cut if that meant my safety.
It is their safety. They have bouncers and everything.
That's
else there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's our proof right there that had, Oh my God.
I'm sure you'll have people that are like, oh, it was awful, because any place you work, you're going to have that. It's a job.
Yeah.
But no, the lack of protection.
I'm sure people still, they're still at risk. Anytime you're alone in a bedroom with anybody, you're always at risk, but it's probably less.
I just think the chance to get caught was so much less back then.
Oh God, yeah.
That they could be a serial killer. How many people have we caught that maybe killed one person that would have been a lot more, but they got caught? You know what I'm saying? For instance, the guy that killed that girl you did up on her. Remember he was dating her mom, and it was Kylie or Kaylee. I don't remember. I feel so bad for not remember her name.
My brain
She was that 13-year-old that just turned that age. It's over there in
Oh my God. Shit. What is his name? The guy that was in Orlando.
Yeah.
Close to Orlando, not in Orlando.
Can't remember his name.
Oh my God. Stephen Stearns.
Yeah, but what if that happened, right? And then back then it would have just been a disappearance. Would it have escalated for him to another one and another one?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's where it just fucks me up that there's people out there that think that monster that I just read about.
And then I also wonder too, if I don't know. Sometimes I feel there's just things that some people are just there is no getting help for it.
Yeah.
And I feel that pedophilia, I don't know. I think was it you or Kylie? Either one of you guys were telling me that there was a psychologist that was talking about it, and they were it is almost impossible to change. That's you.
Yep.
Okay.
It's impossible.
So it's what do we
do with them?
Yeah.
Exactly. If they have that interest, and it's almost impossible to change that. What do we do with those people?
Right.
They're talking about, we'll give them coping skills, and they even talked about discussing stuff maybe give them dolls. I'm okay, first of all, why would that not escalate?
It's gonna escalate.
They're gonna escalate.
Yeah.
That's not a coping skill.
I think, obviously we can't just
kill people,
but especially if they haven't acted, if they have acted, whatever.
Die. I'm sorry.
Agreed. But if they haven't, I wonder if we could have a housing area for them, maybe.
Locked down?
Yeah.
Well, they had something like that. Where was it? And they had an island. An island they would send them to. Where was that? Oh my gosh, you're going to I know you hate him, but you're going to cover the Golden Gate Killer sometime.
Oh, yes.
Because I think that island is mentioned if you do research.
Okay, I'll have to do that.
There's an island they would send these offenders to that, they would have kind of lockdown, but it was on an island, and they would it was outpatient, but it was but it was on an island.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh my God, I wish I knew.
I know what I've heard of some, I can't think of a name though, but I think they cannot be in society. They can't. And pedophilia, why can't I think? Pedophilia Park, the one in Florida.
Yep.
That's not gonna, they can still leave. Hello.
Yeah.
They need to be locked down.
It's the escalation.
Yeah.
they can, I'm just going to look this online. I'm going to look at a bunch of this online. I'm going to, and I know they're being monitored, but come on, dude. Like, everyone, but like, it's just an escalation that can happen. I'm sorry, one, even if one slips through, that's too many.
I wonder, and this is borderline.
I really want to eat this while we talk.
This is borderline, like, I don't know how humane this would really be, but like if they were like locked down and like kind of treated as kind of like a test subject, like not abusing them, but trying to figure out like something, like
Why
working.
Don't we?
Yeah,
why don't we study them?
Probably because it's inhumane, maybe. But like, if you're doing it in a way that's not like abusing them or like taking advantage, you know what I mean? Like using them to kind of like study them. To at least get something good out of them being on the planet, like, and then it sucks too, because I know that there's some, and obviously I'm sure there's a spectrum of it. I'm sure there's some people that just have like thoughts and would never act, and like they hate that they have those thoughts.
Yeah.
And I do feel bad. Like if you would never act on that and you hate that you feel that way, like that sucks. And I do have like sympathy for them. But like, I don't know. I'm just talking in circles now.
No, I agree though. I agree with you.
At least try to get something out of them to like figure out, and also use it as like to help future people that are like that, I
don't consider it inhumane though. They'll be inhumane.
I don't either. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, not being mean to them, nasty to them, abusing them, like not any of that, but like trying to literally learn from them and
that's exactly right.
Research them.
Like, why are we not? We have such advancement. Like,
yeah.
Why can't we?
Bear's going to town on his leg.
I have a hard time going like down that path because for me, as you know, because I was hurt by it as a kid, I'm just like kill him. That's how I feel about it. But like, I know that's not. I have different feelings towards it.
No, I get it.
I'm
very valid.
I'm eating one of these.
The Hershey Bells.
They're my favorite.
They're so good.
They're my fucking favorite.
God.
So good. But anyways, that is the horrific, awful. I'm so glad to be done with it. And I think my next one is going to be the history of Santa Claus because I just need something light.
Yeah.
After doing,
I don't know.
You realize the two I had in a row, right? Toy box.
Yep, those are pretty dark.
So
I love how like we were just in like we don't want to do anything bad right now, and back to back, probably like the worst ones. So we're probably gonna go back to some like not so horrible stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Your
for my
AI
next
was great
one.
though.
I forgot I did that.
Yeah,
that
was a nice little
just
break.
Like that one I just find it fascinating. But it's I don't know.
It might be coming after Christmas, but in the spirit of Christmas, I am going to do the history of Santa. I'm going to look at some different countries and bring in their... You know what? I'm going to bring in some weird facts about Santa.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to bring in.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
A little history, a little weird facts.
Love it.
Probably a lot of weird facts.
That's pretty much our podcast.
A little dark, a little history, a little
weird.
Conspiracies.
Yeah.
But we're going to get food.
We're getting some... Taco Bell and McDonald's.
Yeah.
I want some chicken nugs.
I could do some chicken nugs with some honey mustard and then a tostada.
Yes.
The two things I want. Yeah.
I don't know why I keep doing.
Yeah.
This is like the fifth time I've been like.
She's raising her fist in the air going like when you like. And you're like, yeah, go.
I can't think of what it's called. Like a fist bump. I'm just gonna stop. All right.
Sorry for this dark one. We'll have some fun ones. I don't know what Alyssa's doing next.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll figure it out.
But we'll surprise you.
So. Also, apologize for the funky scheduling we're gonna have coming up soon. It's gonna be weird, and I'm apologizing ahead of time. So thank you so much for listening. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.